is you're just rewarding the criminals and they get worse and worse. We didn't have to pay. We had them up and running in 3 days, and they're back up and running on a new network. So unfortunately, their ISP provider left them very vulnerable, wide open. So needless to say, we switched out their ISP as well. Who do you notify if you suspect your company is under attack? Well, you don't have HR, as we discovered, so we're going to go to IT, right? We could probably go to Wonder Woman, but she's probably filming a movie somewhere. But, or talk to your immediate supervisor as well. Just report it to somebody right away. The quicker you report it, the quicker the mitigation can stop. Sometimes we can stop it before it gets worse.
How do you know if because every once in a while you get, I've gotten a couple since I've been back, like, send us money.
Oh, yes.
You've been chosen to make a donation.
Yeah.
Those aren't big attacks, right? They're just.
They can be. Those could be phishing attacks.
That's a phishing, okay.
Yeah. So they're sending you an email and asking you, if they're telling you to click on a link to make a donation, yes, that's a phishing attack.
Okay.
They're going to take you out of your network, or they're going to take you to somewhere else, but at the same time, you're still connected to your network, so that can damage the network. Anytime you're connected to your company network and you do something like that, that you really shouldn't be going out to, it can damage the network. That's how they get it.
Is it better just to delete those?
Delete them. And if you feel like if they're really spam, call the IT team, show them that. So, because they need to make notes of what's coming in so they can warn everybody else.
Okay.
So that's your best option. Guidelines for mitigating social engineering: be aware of your surroundings and strangers in a facility. So if you're walking around the building here, and you guys know that, Judy has to let you in and let people in, right? She has to buzz you in. But you see somebody strange walking around, you just want to say, hey, why are you here? What can I help you with, or whatever. Just want to make sure. It really happens a lot at the warehouses and the distribution centers. That happens a lot there. Be aware of prompts to install software. You shouldn't have to really install any software unless you talk to your supervisor or talk to IT and just make sure it's okay. I think they pretty much have that locked down now. They don't let you install software on your own. Be suspicious of requests for data or resources. Somebody's calling you up, asking you to make a donation, or asking you to send them information to make a donation. You don't want to do that. Be cautious of data and resource disposal. What that means is if you print something off that has a vendor's information on it that you don't want anybody else to see, and you no longer need it, just shred it. Just get rid of it. But you safely want to get rid of it. And then just ask questions if you don't understand the security requirement, and we're going to do what? Who are we going to ask? Woohoo! Those things are all on the test, that's why I keep repeating that. All right, reflective questions, and I have candy bars for anybody who answers questions.
Teresa woke up.
Yeah. You need to access a storage area where access is secured by a PIN. What are some of the potential risks this could present to your organization? Teresa.
Oh, hang on, I'm gonna read this again. I thought I got to choose if I asked a question.
Hey, you're on the hot seat now.
Okay, you can do it. That person, my shoulder person.
Yeah, your shoulder circuit.
Yes,
Right.
shoulder.
All right. I have Reese's, Hershey's, Kit Kat. What do you like?
Kit Kat.
All right, she gets a Kit Kat.
You can whip it. Thank you. I'll ask.
See, the sugar keeps you guys awake. That's why we have donuts and candy. You notice someone you guys have walking desk anyways, don't you? Those treadmill desks?
Some do.
So you can just walk it off afterwards. You notice someone you do not recognize at a coworker's computer. What level of access could this person have if the coworker forgot to log off? Anybody? Yeah. Anything? If they're connected to the network, they have access to everything.
Everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can toss them to right here. Right in front of you.
Good.
Yeah.
Which one?
Couple of them.
Take it. Teresa's going to take it.
Yeah.
Toss me over one of the
Worst
Hershey ones.
What are worst case scenarios that you can imagine since it's data or valuable
Thank you.
resources to which you have access were made public? We all know this. Everybody should answer this one. Does this happen, right? When you have a breach, all your I mean, we buy stuff from Furniture Row, so when the breach happened, we got a notification that our stuff, we got a notification from Capital One that our stuff was breached. So that happens, right? Can cause a lot of problems at that point. We have to protect the data. So lesson 2, securing devices. Do you guys all have computers, laptops, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Do you guys travel for work?
Yes.
Okay. Do you guys have the hotspots?
No.
Okay. I know some teams, like Ray just ordered some for his team. There's some of them are getting them, but they're little mobile hotspots, and you can connect. The ones that here are getting, you can connect like up to 3 people, team members, when you're working off-site somewhere to that, and it's like $20 a month. So I know they just ordered some because they're a really safe way to protect you when you're traveling, and we'll talk about that more in here. But devices have value. Your computer has value. This computer really has value because I have access to a lot of different networks to customers and information, so I have to make sure that I keep it secure. Connected resources may be virtually priceless. If you are connected to your network, that makes your computer really priceless because you have all the company information, right, at that point. Understand the compliance requirements for connecting. So if you have a device, and we're going to talk about BYOD, not BYOB, BYOD, and that's bring your own device. We're going to talk about that in the company policy on that. But what that's saying is if you bring your own phone or something to work and you happen to want to do an email on your phone, make sure you're connected to the wireless. Because you want to do business with business, not business with personal, okay? Be mindful of the sensitivity of the storage and cache data on those computers. If you have stored sensitive information, do you guys use backup drives? Mobile?
No.
Nope. Okay. That's the best way to back up your stuff and to save it. I think we gave the IT team some secure ones that you have to use biometrics. They use the thumb to get into them. So, and they encrypt the data. Thumb drives are all over the place. You go to trade shows and people are just passing them out like candy, right? Those are not safe, they're not encrypted. If somebody finds it, they can plug it into their computer and have all your information. So when you're using one, make sure it's an encrypted device, okay? All right, be vigilant, physical security, be vigilant against social engineering attacks to install malicious software. Like if they're asking you to make a donation, click on this link, go to this site, you want to make sure you're not doing any of that. It's going to install software on your computer. And we're going to talk about, a little bit later, we're going to talk a little bit about what type of software it installs and what kind of damage it can do to your computer. This is how you call away from your logged in computer. Everybody know who Barbara Cochran is, or Cochran? She's the shark lady, blonde hair. This happened to her company, and she made it public because she wanted everybody to know it can happen to anybody. But her main accounting person was called away, social engineered away from her desk to the department, and they faxed over a sheet and said it was from Barbara, and I need you to wire $700,000 right away to this account. And this person picked it up, that was covered for her, and did it without asking questions. And the girl came back, she goes, here's a copy, I already did this, and she says, what are you talking about? So you have to just be careful. This is how they do it. They know, and that's how they get to that spear attack. They're spear phishing for that head person, so they know who to call away from the desk. So don't let anybody borrow your phone or your laptop if you're on company time. If you're working on that network, you don't want anybody to borrow that. All right, BYOD, bring your own device to work. Your company does not have a policy on it. They do allow it. But the exception is you have to connect to the employee Wi-Fi if you're here with your own device. You want to be connected to a safe Wi-Fi. Everybody know why that would be? Instead of doing it on your phone, like the phone, Verizon Wireless has their own stuff or whatever. You want to be, if you're doing company business, you want to make sure you're connected to the company network because it's secure, right? It's a secure network. You don't know if Verizon has a secure network when you're on your mobile device. So
let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Say I have the Outlook app on my phone. So
what
the
app is
Outlook
it?
app,
Oh, Outlook, yes.
and I check emails from home, send emails from my phone at home.
Yep.
Is that I mean, isn't Outlook secured, or?
So if you're at home, most likely you have a secured Wi-Fi at your house, right?
Right.
It's when you're at a coffee shop or you're at an airport or something like that. You don't wanna send personal information back to a company, through a company email. You don't want to respond to somebody. Wait till you know you're in a secure environment.
Also, even like over my 4G or whatever, I'm not even connected to someone else's
Then
Wi-Fi?
who is your?
T-Mobile.
T-Mobile. Well, you know they just got breached, right?
No, I didn't know that, so.
They did get breached, and they just announced this morning that they have to pay everybody $350 million that was affected, so.
Wow.
They just got breached, so this is why I say cell phone companies, they don't spend the money to individually protect every single person. You have to buy it. You can buy T-Mobile, you can buy a VPN for your phone
Uh-huh,
and do it, but they don't charge you extra for that.
okay.
So, yeah, everybody's vulnerable to get hacked, so you have to secure it in the most secure way. And you look at, if you Google it today, you'll see the news just announced this morning that T-Mobile has to pay that money out, so. They
Good
didn't
example, Nate.
They didn't tell anybody though.
Our T-Mobile's been going up now.
Yeah, yeah,
They didn't tell anybody about it either. Did you guys get a notice that they were breached?
No.
no,
That's why they got sued. That's why the government came after them, said you didn't tell any of the people that their stuff was locked up. They should have offered you guys free, credit monitoring and everything for a year.
oh,
They didn't do any of that.
yeah,
If you get a breach and it's like that, the government will set regulations and standards for you and say, because you allowed it to happen, you need to protect these people, protect the consumers. So, that was a good question though, perfect timing, because